The most successful at losing weight and actually keeping it off use pretty much the same strategies to lose more than 95% of others and actually stay that way. And that's really the key. And in this video, I'll show you exactly what that strategy is, how to disappear, work on yourself, and come back to shock everyone. It's just a very fun way of doing it. Kind of going off, working on yourself, and then, they just notice a bigger difference. This is the same strategy I've used over the last 10 years with all my clients. They have lost thousands of pounds, and so can you. So let's go ahead and dive right on into it. I'm going to show you like the overall view of the plan. This is just, there's a lot here, but it's a full system to get you to literally kind of in your winter arc, as they're saying. Okay, so first I want to discuss like who to tell, because you got to actually tell someone here. You can't literally just disappear from everyone, I don't think. So first, I kind of mentioned this a little bit in the intro. This is such a fun idea. You get a noticeable difference because whenever you are like, let's say that, you got a haircut and everyone notices your haircut, of course, because your hair went from, I don't know, 4 inches to 2 inches. And now you have half the hair. And so therefore it's very noticeable. But as your hair grows, no one ever mentions that your hair looks good, right? Because they see you every single day. And it's just not a big noticeable change. That is the same way with fat loss. It is going to take a long time. And that's why this is kind of a fun strategy, because it's kind of equivalent to getting your hair cut and all of a sudden they see you and, oh my gosh, you lost all this weight. It is more noticeable, and it is something that definitely gives people a little bit of an emotional boost whenever people are saying, wow, look at all this weight you've lost. It doesn't even have to be that much, 20 or 30 pounds, which I know is a lot, but I'm saying like, it's not like you have to lose 100 pounds. Even if you have 100 pounds to lose, losing 20 or 30 pounds is going to be extremely noticeable when you have like disappeared, worked on yourself, and came back. With that said, 20 or 30 pounds is noticeable even if you haven't. So don't worry, even if you can't disappear. But it's just a fun idea. Okay, so that's why I wanted to do this. So who to tell? I think you need one accountability person. This is best as a trainer, and I know I'm a trainer, so I'm biased, but hear me out. This is best to have a trainer. It could be a local trainer. It could be an online trainer. I do online training. There's other online trainers. So you need someone to tell, and you need someone to hold you accountable. And a trainer's job, they're not going to go spouting anything to anyone. It's just their job is to help you. And especially if you know that trainer or whatever personally, and you tell them, hey, this is just, could we keep this between you and me? I just want to surprise everyone or whatever, the trainer's going to be more than willing to do that. We don't care about your personal life whatsoever. It's kind of our job to separate that a little bit, sometimes it does come into play and I feel more like a therapist, but still, personal life has something to do with it, but we're not going to go, talking to anyone or posting on Facebook if you don't want us to or whatever. So I highly suggest that be a trainer, but it could be a friend. It could be a family member, whatever you want. Just one person. I think that's really important. One person's actually going to hold you accountable and is going to take it serious and is going to take your BS whenever you're asking to quit. So you're doing this for you. So ultimately, I think the reason that this strategy works so well is because you don't have that outside validation day in, day out. You're not looking for that. You're not seeking that. And therefore, it becomes an intrinsic thing that you are doing this for your health. You're doing this. Now, yes, it is fun to get those words of praise from others. But I think this process teaches that to you, that this is ultimately for me. And that's whenever a person really has success, whenever they start doing this for them, because it's fun. They enjoy how they look and how they feel for them. And I think that's really key. So just know that. And that's part of why this process, I think, works. So the reason that you don't tell a whole lot of people is because there's a lack of shame and pressure. I really think that helps. Now, there are different people are different. You might thrive off of the expectations of a lot of people being on your shoulders all at once. I think most people, if they have an accountability person and they have one person pushing them and telling them, hey, you got this, come on, let's do this, then the lack of shame or pressure, the lack of potential shame from failure, no one knows. So if you fail, no one's going to like make fun of you, or I don't know, you're not going to think that anyone's going to think less of you. Because of that, I think it actually encourages a person to keep going. Because instead of like, oh my gosh, I failed and I'm going to quit and just kind of like hide away for worse reasons, because I don't want anyone to see me, or I don't want to feel that embarrassment of failure. Because that embarrassment of potential failure isn't there, it's almost like the pressure's off and you just, hey, yeah, I ate kind of bad this Christmas. Who cares? I'll move on. No one was expecting anything otherwise. And then in the long run, you end up making it. And that's what I think is really helpful. So anyways, the culmination here is tell almost no one, tell one person, that accountability person. And I really think your trainer is the best person to do with this. A lot of my clients, this is what they do, not intentionally. It's not like this is a system that I teach people like, hey, don't tell anyone. By all means, if you want to tell people, go for it. This video probably isn't for you, but I'm still going to give you a good system to lose weight. But tell almost no one, because like I said, it's just a fun concept of coming back and like hiding away, not going out to dinner for a while, not doing it, and just working on yourself. It's just a whole lot of fun. So yeah, let's go ahead and go into the plan. This is, I mean, there's more to the plan, but this is like the actual action steps here. So first, food logging or some type of restriction. Food logging is my favorite. That is going to be general caloric restriction. That is making sure that you're logging something that is 100 calories or 300 calories or whatever, and not going above a certain calorie limit. You're aiming for protein. We're going to talk about protein in a little bit, but that's really it. You're aiming for calories and you're aiming for protein. I let the carbs and fats fall kind of how they fall. This is going to allow you to lose weight. You have to be in a calorie deficit. Now, some people, they hate food logging. They absolutely hate it. And I at least have my clients try, if they don't want a food log, I at least have them try some other form of restriction, such as time restriction. That's something like, it's not something that is intermittent fasting, or a food group restriction, such as keto and going low carb. You could go low fat. I tend to naturally go low fat. So these things can totally cross over. You could use food logging and a time restriction. There's special intermittent fasting apps that kind of like help you with windows, and then like, I guess you still log your food and stuff. I've never personally used them because I just like food logging. Food logging to me feels the least restrictive, and that is how you know which one to try. If you hate food logging, you feel like it's controlling you or whatever, just try to reduce the time. But something needs to be reduced, something needs to be restricted, because if you eat like you always have, you're going to remain as you always have been. Then is going to be lifting. Now, I think a person, especially whenever they're focused on fat loss, should be lifting 2 to 3 times a week, total body. That is because I want as much energy as possible given to, and we're going to go back, like it is actually a sufficient amount of weightlifting as well, but I want as much energy and emotional energy given to as possible to cardio, steps, which we're going to talk about, and your food and the diet, meal prepping, things like that. If your workouts, if you're in the gym less, you can be making food more. And I think being prepared is so helpful and so key. Having food, good food, and I have a recipe. I don't know. I hope I bring it up, but I'll talk about it with I'll talk about it in a different part, I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. I talk about it in number 4, or in the 4th section. But where was I? I want as much energy and effort as possible given to the things that I think are going to move the needle on the scale the most. With that said, you have to keep your muscle, and lifting is so important. You will probably, if you've never lifted before, even build muscle. You'll have better shape to you by the end of your journey. You're going to have a healthier, not necessarily as high, but a very healthy metabolism and metabolic rate, because you have the lean tissue that is burning all those calories. So lifting is very important. 2 to 3 times a week of 3 sets per body part is going to be enough for you. That is at least 6 up to 9 sets per week per muscle group. That is plenty, especially for a beginner. That will last you at least a year, and you will make such a difference in a year that, you can worry about more advanced splits later if you want to. But total body, 3 times a week, up to 3 times a week, as minimum 2 times a week. That's going to cover your lifting. Now, your cardio. I would be doing cardio as much as you can. Now, I'm not saying like 2 hours a day, 6 days a week, but as often, like up to 6 days a week. Take your total time and span it out as far as you can, 6 days a week. At minimum, I would try to do 2 to 3 days a week. They can overlap with your lifting if you want. Ideally, if you can't do that, then it would be like Monday, Wednesday, Friday lifting, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday cardio. That way, every day fitness is on your mind. You are taking action towards your fitness. It's making you feel better. And it's, I find that when people work out, they eat better as well. But ideally, it would be, in a perfect world, it would be like Monday, Wednesday, Friday lifting, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday cardio, something like that, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday cardio, whatever. Just like 4 days a week of cardio. And if you can do 5, then do 5. If you can do 5 days a week of cardio at 15 minutes, I would rather that than 2 days a week at, 30 minutes or whatever. I'm not going to do the math right now to make sure that makes total sense. But I want you to be focused on as many days as possible, and then you start increasing that time if you want. So let's say you do 15 minutes 5 days a week, and then you do 20 minutes 5 days a week, and then on 2 days of the week you do 30 minutes or whatever. You can increase it from there in terms of time, but I would try to increase it first to the maximum number of days that you can commit to. That might only be 2 to 3, and that's fine. It's going to work just fine. So Next is going to be, I want to specifically talk about protein. Now, this does go into food logging and macro tracking, of course, but at least for a while, even if you choose intermittent fasting or if you choose if you choose carb restriction, you're probably going to naturally get your protein, but I still think it'd be good for you to practice it. But if you're going to be practicing intermittent fasting or food logging for sure, track your protein. You want roughly 1 gram per pound of body weight. You want it to be of your lean, I shouldn't say lean, of your like goal body weight, somewhere around there, and then I add a little bit more. So let's say you are 250 pounds and you want to be 140 again. That would probably be female usually, but it doesn't matter. Whatever your goal weight is, let's say you're 100 or 280 pounds, you want to be 200. I would try to eat 200 grams of protein, maybe like 220. And see where that takes you from there. Your goal again is to spare your muscle, and protein is really going to help with that. It's also going to make you feel more full, help you eat less, and that's going to accompany the main goal of reducing your calories, which is then going to lead to your weight loss. So a lot more protein that will help. Usually people are eating way too little protein for the purposes of what we're talking about in this video. In terms of health, you probably don't need that much. It's not unhealthy to eat more, but I'm saying like you don't need to push protein that much. I'm not saying it's super healthy or more healthy. Anyways, all right. So next is going to be steps. My voice sounds kind of raspy. I'm sorry. Next is going to be steps. Steps is like the informal cardio. I try to get a step goal no matter what, same goal every single day. Even if my cardio days way exceeds that, step goal every day. For me, my step goal is 14,000 every day. Now I have a very active job. I am a personal trainer. I still do in-person personal training as well. So, 14,000 is my goal. Some days I reach 18,000 because, I will have a very busy day with clients that day and then still have my cardio and everything. So I just let it go above. It doesn't matter. But what I would do is start with your phone. And if you want a good step tracker that is dedicated, don't use those cheap watches. Those things are like 20, 30 bucks on Amazon that track your steps and your fitness and everything. They track way too much wrist movement. It's just not accurate. Nowhere near accurate. I find that they're extremely off. So I would just look up pedometer on Amazon. The number one pedometer has like 40,000 or something 5-star reviews or 4.5-star reviews or whatever. And it's a really good, super accurate, super cheap. I just put it in my pocket so it's not even visible and it tracks my steps. And I have literally done tests several times because I'm like, it's part of my job, but I don't know. I just care too much about it. Where I will count my steps and then look at it, and it is literally off. If it's off by 1 step because because it treats 1 step as like 2. Because every time you walk with your right leg, it's assuming you walk with your left leg as well. You can also put it like on, a necklace or a lanyard or something, and it knows. It's pretty cool. It knows that every time it bounces, that's 2. Whereas when it's on your hip, I don't know. It's never off. I don't know. I'm confusing myself, but it's never off. So, anyways, I would pick a goal. Let's say your average is 8,000. Pick it a little bit higher. Challenge yourself to 9,000 on cardio days. That'll be easy. On non-cardio days, you'll have to push, and that's where I think a lot of difference is going to be made for you. So, pick a goal, try to get it, and see where you fall. The main goal that I have with steps isn't more steps equals weight loss, although yes, that will help. Just not a ton, but it will help. It's that I don't want your steps accidentally being reduced as you increase your fitness. So let's say with your cardio, you have now bumped it up to 30 minutes instead of 15. That's great. You're going to lose more fat. But what if you accidentally start eating more in response? That's where the food logging comes in. Make sure you're not accidentally going to eat more because you're making up for those calories. That is a common phenomenon. Or let's say that you start walking less. You don't start eating more, but you start walking less throughout the rest of the day. Kind of instead, you used to take 8,000. Now you take, now you did 30 minutes of cardio. Now you do 7,000 steps. That's going to, change your results. So try and keep the steps consistent and the calories consistent while you're increasing on your cardio and everything is going to be key. Okay. So 3 is adjustments. This is so important. You have to be able to adjust throughout your journey. Otherwise, at the end of the 3 months that you hide away or 6 months or whatever, not a lot of change could have happened because you are not tracking and not making adjustments. So track your weight. I try to have my clients track every single day, which I know might seem pointless because not every day is going to be an accurate measurement, but the measurements don't matter, the individual weigh-ins. It's the pattern of weigh-ins that matter. That's what I really care about. So whenever you get a week, 2 weeks worth of data and you see, oh, my weight's going down, congratulations, you just keep it. Actually, I think I have it right here. So let's say if your weight is flat, if you're lifting weights and your weight is flat for a while, you're probably going to be recomping. You're going to be building muscle while losing fat, but that doesn't happen like to an extreme level. It's not like you built 20 pounds of muscle and lost 20 pounds of fat. That just isn't going to happen. So if after a while your weight is flat, it should at least be slowly going down. If it's slowly going down, you're still probably recomping, building muscle, and losing fat at the same time. But if it is flat, then the reason that we're tracking steps, workouts, cardio, and your calories, I would reduce your calories, not by a lot. I would reduce them by like 100 a day, maybe 150. Then I would increase your steps by 1,000. I would increase your cardio by 5 minutes on every single day. And that combination right there is going to be getting you burning more calories on, these things and eating a little bit less on these. And that total swing should be enough to take it from slow weight loss or very flat weight loss, or no weight loss, I should say, to a little bit of weight loss. And then you can make adjustments from there. So if your weight is going down, congratulations, you're doing well. If it's not going down fast enough, don't worry. Slow is almost always better. But if it's not going down by like a pound a week, number one, there's no reason to panic. If you rush into faster weight loss, I promise that is a recipe to eventually give up and go the other way. But if it's, if it's going down by less than a pound a week, you could speed it up by doing exactly what I said with if the weight is flat thing. Reduce your calories by like 100, increase your steps by 1,000, increase your cardio by 5 minutes or 10 minutes every day, and then see what that gives you. So that is what I would do if it is going down. The speed of weight loss is I should mention this real quick. Your weight will almost never be going up. I don't think in my entire career, and I'm on year 11 right now of doing this from college, I don't think I've ever seen a person who gives halfway decent effort and their weight goes up. It might go up for a day. Remember, it's the pattern, not the individual weigh-ins. So don't freak out if your weight goes up by 1 and then goes up by 2 the next day. You're not gaining weight. You promise you're not gaining weight that fast. Give it a pattern and let it see where it kind of settles out, because at first, especially, your body's kind of freaking out, but it will almost never go up. So don't worry about that. If it is, leave a comment on my video and I will help you individually as best I can. I'll ask some questions or whatever, give you a video. Actually, it might make a good video, so maybe I can help you out. But it'll almost never, just don't worry about that. That's why I don't really talk about that much, because if you're giving any effort at all, your weight's at the very least going to be flat, which is almost always what a person who's trying to lose weight experiences. And then we have to make adjustments, and then it starts going down, and it's fine. So the speed of weight loss, you don't want to lose. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but you don't want to lose very fast. And you're probably like, yes, I do. But I promise you don't. I've never seen it work. A person who loses 4 pounds a week or something, that's possible whenever a person has a whole lot of weight to lose. But your average person is totally not going to have enough body fat to lose 4 pounds a week or even 3 pounds a week for sustained periods of time. Even 2 pounds a week is really pushing the boundaries of, eventually you're going to hit a point where you're going to be so deprived, you're going to be so, your diet fatigue is going to be so high that you're just going to rebound. And that's whenever a person, let's say they're losing weight really fast and they hit Christmas and they eat some good food for the first time in a while, and then their body just goes ravenous mode because all their hormones are out of whack, because, leptin and all that is everything's out of whack. It's wanting you to eat more. It's telling you you're hungry. We need to increase our calories. So the speed of weight loss, slower is better. With that said, if it's fast, that's cool. Like, that's fine. I'm not saying like you have to be worried about that. Just maybe increase your calories a little bit. A person who can lose weight on increased calories, and I know it's a slower rate of weight loss, but they're losing weight, they increase their calories, yet they're still losing weight. That person's chances of success, of permanent success, are so much higher. So I promise, the whole reason that we're kind of going away, working on ourselves and coming back is so that 20, 30 pounds is like, whoa, it's like a haircut. You've made a huge change. You've cut off a huge part of your body, all that body fat. You don't have to lose 100 pounds for people to be like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. And it will be permanent. If you lose 100 pounds in 5 months, that's great. People will notice, but then they will also notice whenever you gain it back. And if you gain back 105 pounds, what was it all for? I promise you, please try to slow down your weight loss. It is going to really help. You can do a couple bouts of this disappear work on yourself thing. But I promise, slow down your weight loss. And I can even talk to you about diet breaks. Oh, I threw that in here. Look at me. So sustaining your weight loss. So first, I want to talk about diet breaks. You're not going to want to hear this. I don't like hearing it either. But usually, when my clients find success actually keeping off the weight, they take diet breaks. So every like 20, 30 pounds that they lose, I have them maintain that weight and practice maintaining that weight for like 4 weeks. And that might sound like, oh my gosh, a month of like, I could have been progressing. Yes, but you're learning the new you know, because you are going to burn less calories because you weigh less, but you also could be burning a little bit more calories because you're muscle. And so I want your body to get used to where it is now and how to eat how it is now and all that. And it takes it's a really good practice to try and maintain your weight after losing weight instead of just going constantly down or constantly up. Trying to maintain a new weight is really good practice. And it might sound cliche, it might sound lame, you might not want to take that time, but I promise if you want to lose weight and keep it off, diet breaks are going to be so helpful for you, because there is going to come a time where you reach your goal and you're going to now have to practice living a new lifestyle. You can't go back to the old lifestyle. And with diet breaks, you have practiced that before and you're not going to revert back and gain all that weight back. So very important. All right, recipes. I brought this up earlier. I have a recipe book. It's free, totally free. I hope I never charge for it. I would never charge for it to make money. Um, it's just that some people think free things aren't very valuable, and I promise this thing is super valuable. It only has like 9 or 10 recipes in it right now, but they're delicious. They're meal prep, like large prep. You can always cut their recipes in half. But they're delicious. They're things like Alfredo, chicken Alfredo pasta and enchilada bowls. They're delicious. Super high protein, lower in calorie, fills you up. It's great. So sign up for my email list. Link in the description or wherever. And it won't give that to you right away, but every time I update the book, I send out an email and you'll get it as soon as I update it. It'll give you like a free weight loss thing. Enjoy that. If your real goal is the recipe book, I promise it's going to be awesome whenever you get it. So, and I'm going to send it out, as soon as I can. So, but I should talk about why that's important. So recipes are important because you're not going to be eating individual, meals individual ingredient meals for a long time. Chicken, broccoli, rice, protein, vegetable, whole grain. Fruit and dairy. Like it's boring. It gets so boring. And whenever people lose weight like that, and then they go to eat a lasagna, it's like the heavens have opened up, and then they lose control. So I teach you how to make a good lasagna that's actually going to help you lose weight, and it's going to be good in macros and everything. Teach you how to make the Alfredo pasta. I teach you all that stuff, and they're simple recipes. I mean, I think they're pretty simple. I'm not a chef or anything. And so recipes are key to you keeping your weight off, because that allows you to. I have yet to get, one time I made a good one, and I don't think I saved the recipe. I've yet to get a good like cheesecake recipe, and you'll see these like cheesecake things on Instagram and stuff, and I just haven't got it yet. But if you're craving cheesecake, you go, you find that recipe, and then you have a go-to cheesecake recipe. Ice cream, things like that. These things are going to help you maintain your weight loss, because it's not like you said goodbye to the good food forever. It's just you've made some adjustments. Is it as good? No, but it's almost as good. And it has, half or less of the calories. So enjoyment, swimming, tennis, whatever. You don't have to do like cardio the traditional way. I just want to bring that up. I know it's kind of obvious, but if you love swimming, do it. I talk about the treadmill and the Stairmaster a lot. That is my favorite way of like keeping constant incline on your, so you don't accidentally, work easier. I won't get into that right now. But if you love tennis, play a lot of tennis. If you love boxing, do that. It doesn't matter. If it's, golf doesn't burn a ton of calories, but if that gets you more active and gets you a ton of steps, then, golf more. Things like that, which if you're a golfer, you're probably like, you don't have to ask me twice. I suck at golf. So just make sure you enjoy your cardio, you enjoy your movement, because long term, now for short bursts, if you want to do cardio that you're not super fond of, but hey, this is my cardio, that's okay. And you could do that forever. Just make sure the majority of your movement, if you dread the treadmill, you got to find something you enjoy. You're going to end up quitting. So then would be immersion. I would follow YouTube channels, subscribe to mine if you want. There's other YouTube creators that are awesome in the weight loss niche, or at least like the fitness niche. There isn't a ton of people that are just focused on fat loss like I am. Maybe I'll expand one day, but there's a lot of good fitness channels. So follow them, follow fitness creators, Facebook groups, Instagram creators, whatever. Immerse yourself so that what you're seeing, the algorithms start feeding you things that are going to, like recipes that are going to help you lose weight, recipes that are going to help you keep weight off, not these delicious recipes that are, and mine are delicious too, but not these like over the top recipes that, are not going to help you with your goals. It's just, whenever you're getting fed stuff on social media that is more related to fitness and health and less to being a slob, you're more likely to, to do that stuff. So, holidays and falling off. Now, I wanted to release this right before Christmas for this very purpose. So if you've made it to this point of the video, congratulations, you have something in your tool belt. But this is for anything, if this is after Christmas, this will apply to anything, the next thing that comes up. By the way, be prepared for that next thing. We always get in this frame of mind of this is how life is permanently. There's going to be another Christmas. There's going to be another, New Year's. There's going to be another birthday. Be prepared for it, and this is how you prepare for it. So first off, one day means nothing. Worst case scenario, you can celebrate all you want, go hard, and one day means nothing. Now, try not to just like engorge yourself with food, but just eat the meal, enjoy it, move on. It's going to be fine. Your weight fluctuations mean nothing. I've had people in this Facebook group that I'm a part of, and I struggle to comment in it. It's like the weight loss support group because they always think I'm like self-promoting. I literally have never sold my services there. I don't have a single client from there. So I hate it. I wish I could help people more there. But anyways, weight fluctuations. I've had people say like, I gained 8 pounds. It's like, no, you didn't. You did not gain 8 pounds from a single meal. You did not gain 8 pounds from a single night or even a single weekend. I promise. That's a stupid amount of calories you would have had to eat in order to gain those 8 pounds. They mean nothing. It's the pattern that means something. Now, after a, did I say that here? No. After a, Christmas party or something, maybe you don't take your weight for a couple days because it's going to be falsely high. And that's the point, is that the weight fluctuation, the reason it means nothing is because you're holding on to a bunch of water, holding on to a bunch of glycogen that was not in your muscles before because you ate the calories that you have been missing this whole time. It's okay. It'll go back down. And then you will, in the background, still be losing fat as long as you're still on your game. So don't let it throw you off. Go right back to the gym the next day. Go right back to your diet the next day. It's going to be fine. It means nothing. Hear me. I promise you, it means nothing. So have a holiday meal strategy. I like to do like one plate of your holiday meal is, either you eat one plate and you're done and that's it. You can't stack things. One plate, done. That's a good way of doing it. And then one slice of the dessert and then you're done. No alcohol or 2 alcoholic drinks, done. You pick something and you do it. Something that I've been playing around with and I really like, because I like to eat at the holidays. I don't want to hold myself back. So my first plate is all protein, 100%. So on Thanksgiving, it was just a bunch of turkey. People thought it was weird. Who cares? I don't care what they think. Just turkey. Then the next meal is a little bit of all the good stuff. Just a little bit. Can't stack it. So I said the next meal. The next plate is a little bit of all the good stuff. Can't fill the plate. Just get a little bit of all the good stuff. Enjoy it and move on. But again, you could just do one plate, including the turkey on that plate. And then, at Christmas, whatever, you get a little bit of the good stuff and then you're done. But you eat off of your plate. You don't walk up to the snacks and eat those. You put those snacks on your plate. That'll control you. One thing I want to encourage you with, you are never, ever wasting your time. So let's say that you are going throughout the holidays and you are, you're like, man, I'm working out. I'm not losing weight. I'm just wasting my time. No, you're not. If your weight is flat, if the pattern is flat and you are lifting weight and you are in the gym doing your cardio, you are getting healthier. You are improving your fitness. You are increasing muscle mass so that whenever you don't have all of this crap around the holidays, that it feels like you're being forced to eat, you're easily going to lose weight. You're putting these things into practice. You're putting food logging into practice. You're going to be, whenever you don't have the holiday meals, you're going to be easily losing weight. You're also probably building muscle in the background. So you might be recomping a little bit. You're losing a little bit of fat, gaining a little bit of muscle. That's going to increase your metabolism. You're going to be great. Okay. So you are never wasting your time. You're not just getting healthier, which I know is like cliche, but it is true. You're also getting healthier. That's kind of cool. But you're also improving your ability to lose weight whenever you don't have all these distractions. So you're never wasting your time. And the last part here, eat before, eat clean, and eat a lot. I have 1,000 times, probably just like you, thought I'm going to Thanksgiving tonight. I'm not going to eat until Thanksgiving. It never works out for me. I'm always able to eat so much more than I ever would have eaten. I'm telling you, it's hard to trust, but just try it. Just try it once. What's the worst that happens? You overeat one day? Ain't a big deal. Eat your normal meals. That's breakfast and lunch. Make them super clean. Eat a lot. meaning like, let's say you have chicken breast and a sweet potato, or sweet potato tacos. I've been meaning to add that recipe to the cookbook. I can't wait. Sweet potato tacos, and you maybe eat two of them. Maybe one and a half for that'd be three. I'm an idiot. Maybe eat one and a half for breakfast and one and a half for lunch, which I know sounds weird, but I'm just saying, like, eat a lot of calories. You might be at 2/3 of your calories by the time you're going to your holiday meal and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But it is so much easier to just do the plate strategy I described, and the next day you move on. And it's great. Yes, the weight will come in high, but remember, that's just water, and you just move on. And this overall is how you succeed. You go, disappear, work on yourself, come back, shock the world.